Hello, welcome to today's collective general reading. As always, remember to use your own discernment, join with intention, and allow the message to be received with an open heart. A quantum reminder, we are speaking through symbol and story here, so please do not rely on tarot readings as factual evidence. You are always encouraged to do your own research, especially when engaging with strangers on the internet. I feel like every time I sit down to record, I say, this one's different. And I think I'm just in this acknowledgement state of it's always different. We're talking about time today. And there was in a previous video in the past week that I did, I was talking about the word synchronicity is coming, but I don't think that's the correct one. But I think that's the quickest way to say like a pattern you're seeing in the universe, right? And it was, I will say something in a reading and then I will see something in someone else's reading, and it keeps being I see it before. And I've been thinking of that since, and I'm like, is that the way it is? And then I was writing just a moment ago. We do have a cat around, by the way, so there may be sounds and paws. So the message of signs before time, confirmations after time. Because also in a previous reading that I did, what came through was that song, Que Sera, Sera, whatever will be, will be. And then today, out of nowhere, someone sang that song at me. And not anyone who would have any idea that I have this channel. It's someone in like real life. And it was this, oh. And then the person who like this time appetizer, I'll frame it, keeps happening is Scythe from Witch and Scythe. But then I think about how many times her readings pop up from like a year or 2 years ago or 6 months ago, whatever the case may be, and they show up when they're in alignment with me. And so that being that confirmation after time. There's something about signs versus confirmation. And your positionality as placing yourself before something is happening to else other more and whether something that has already happened is finding you in a new past. I don't think all of this is for me to explain, but there's something going on there. The other thing that had come in was which conversation belongs where. And then similar to how I write my name sometimes T bracket here, close bracket, where was W bracket here bracket. And that W became Y here. And as I wrote that, I very loudly heard a plane take off. So there's something of that. You can say that, oh my God, I didn't even realize that. I was going to say like that thought taking flight and that being swords energy. And I look here and this is the Knight of Spires. I had a couple cards on the table from traditional tarot that I was tucking away. And when I did, this one flew up and I said, okay, you want to be here. But Knight of Spires, Knight of Swords in this Mindscapes deck is literally flying into the mountains. Wow. Okay. And then these, I don't know what this is. These two came, we have along in connection with the Knight of Spires, we have the 9 of Cups. And then another 9, we have the 9 of Wands with the 3 of Swords. And so this being not the happiest combination of cards, and I haven't gotten to what that means yet, but I'm just setting up the context for as I flow. And there's this this card for me, I always think of that stupid Vine, that look at all those chickens. It's like standing in front of everything that you have worked so hard for, Me being a potter, this has never come to me, but I can imagine having all of these, not identical, but in the same family shapes all come to completion, none of which blew up in the kiln or was misshapen somehow or got dented taking it off the wheel or the wall was too thin. There's so much practice, dedication, and commitment had to happen for these 9 cups to line up with this time. And then what I call it, an image, the concept, which has come up in previous readings on my channel, like for a few months, is talking about coordinates and coordination. And I don't necessarily mean like your hands being in coordination with your feet or having 2 left feet, but as I say that, I was looking up the left-hand path today. So perhaps that's something, yeah, incense falls to that. Perhaps that's something for someone. But coordinating yourself in the axes of the universe. Now, I did talk about this in a message that is on my channel. Where did this page go? Can't be that far back. Yeah. And before all of these pink shoots of everything going off endless, you can see here this coordinate, okay? There's a shape that keeps coming, which is, let's say it's an x-axis. It's a y-axis. And then a z-axis. So this is how we have an understanding of 3D, right? 3 dimensions, literally. Left and right, up and down, front and back, I think. Anyway, but you don't need to listen to me explain to you what the 3 dimensions are. And then there's time. And in this, time being the 4th dimension, 4D, it's about your positioning. But here, this shape specifically came out a while ago. And in looking at it, it really reminds me of this, which is the symbol for katakana. So it's the phonetic alphabet in Japanese, and it just means O, the letter O. But when O is at the, just some ash, when O is at the front of a word, it's often used as an honoring suffix. Like how we use this in English too, like bento, a bento box, like a meal. They say o bento, like, yeah. Sake, like the drink sake, osake. I'm not even sure if that's a word, but that idea of there is a ritual before you even get to whatever it is that the word is. I'm totally blanking, but I'm gonna use up some, I don't think this is actually Japanese, but it's what I'm speaking right now. So, mizu. So if I just show, and I'm writing in like backwards alphabets because I speak broken Japanese, and so the written, I feel, follows that same form. Anyway, if you were to just see this, all you see is O. You have the hint that there is something here of importance, ne? But you don't know what's coming. You don't know what is going to be revealed. All you know is what you're walking into, but you don't know where you will arrive. This is this appetizer of time. It's not always even about what the message is that's being repeated and showing up elsewhere. It's the fact that you are noticing it. And as you notice it, what else is going on? What other psychic senses or experiences or clairs, whatever words you want to use, ne? Like, what is it that is showing up for you as flood? is how that's coming. And there's been a lot of stuff about flood lately, and I was in a conversation with someone yesterday and someone talking about the Great Flood for a very long time. So we could potentially be connecting with like the star card, connecting with Ishtar. And I'm pretty sure this is not how it goes, but for me, through connection, I connect that with the goddess Selene as mother. In the middle process of maiden mother crone. Okay. And this is a book. This is a book I have not read. I don't even know if I've like really flipped through it. But I took it out because there's the messages in what is around you, but you have not yet delved into. So I don't know if I will be going into that, but that's nearby, and that is why. Okay. And so there's this distress of not knowing if it is real. Not knowing if this is correct, if this is up to code, up to speed of light. And worrying that you don't have your 10 of Cups, you don't have everything figured out, therefore you have no idea what you're doing, and it's just like chaos flood. Right? You're thinking that all of these cups are filled with endless pits of water, emotion, and that they're all going to topple over, and all of that is going to bury you. And I see like wands as these skinny tall sticks, similar to swords, skinny tall sticks, and water will flow right through them. No amount of singular wands stacked up or swords entangling can actually stop the flood from flowing. Oh. The Magician upside down. And I never do upside downs. Not never. Very rarely. It's funking with your magic. It's mixing something up. And as I look up here, because I'm recording on my phone, the Magician is upright to me in this moment. Okay, this gets like, kind of meta, but I'm in 2 times right now. You can't see my eyes, but I'm looking at the table. I'm looking physically in front of me, and I see the Magician upside down. And then I say, for example, I say, oh no. And I look up and I see, oh, yokata. Like my heart just has this reassurance of like, oh, okay, everything's fine. It's not upside down. Everything is as it is meant to be. And so this fear entanglement of not knowing how, where, and why things are showing up, don't worry about trying to break down everything. I had que sera in my head for a full day, and the next day someone sings it to me for no reason. And I say for no reason because there's no direct connection in that aside from those two appeared back to back. And I put intention, I put message on one. Therefore, when another arrives, there is already meaning being placed. And this is part of developing that, I'm not sure if it's this, but I'll take it out. This is part of developing that communication system with your spirit team. One, two, three. Yeah. 7 of Pentacles, Page of Wands. Would be the Star. Let's smoke her out. Okay. Again, having to wait for something to grow. And not picking up your harvest too soon so that you spoil the literal fruits of your labor, everything you've been building in this 3D. This Page of Wands is something new is incoming. Don't worry about what will it be. It's coming in. It will crash into your earth. It doesn't mean it's gonna be like a tower energy of crashing, of this insurmountable energy coming in, but sometimes the energy is so intense it has no other way to arrive aside from boom. It's like if an email were to land in your inbox and your computer shakes a little because there's so much energy that is coming with, that is entitled on, interesting, entitled on the message. Okay. Close my eyes. Let's see. Openings. Is that interesting? I'll read this. I loved each chance I got to sleep outside. After dinner, my friends set up a rope-strung charpoy for me to sleep on near their veranda. As I finally relaxed my body's full weight on the thin mattress over the rope webbing, my mind traveled back over the day. The train changes to get me to Warda Junction. The bicycle rickshaw 3 miles to Dadapur. Arriving in time to greet my friends and walk with them through the colony. I see you. Familiar sights and new ones, my gladness in their faces. The flute music I recognized, my delight in seeing its turbaned player, and the old question that came to mind. With the growing numbness of leprosy, won't his flute playing wear out his fingers more quickly? Adrift in these memories, I soon fell asleep under a heaven of stars. Sometime near midnight or early morning, I awoke. Opening my eyes, my gaze fell straight into the middle of the stars. I seemed at first to be looking down into them. Tipped to the south, and then I'll stop there. This is page 129, which breaks down to a 3, which again is my number for divine connection with spirit and to Karana, 3 of Cups energy. And so we have the star showing up, and something interesting there near the end is the whatever she's talking about. I have not read this book, but the energy that she's ending this page with is having a completely different perspective in with the stars. I find that very interesting. As I had mentioned, Ishtar, and here we are. As it was the 3rd card, number 3 as that page. Yes, page of wands. And also how the author was playing around with senses of time, counting numerology, recounting their day into the evening, and having their daytime emerge in with the stars. And thinking of what it is that we carry around with us all the time. And this goes into things that we don't know how to let go. As I'm looking at this, I wonder if as I move it, if the jostle will make it move. But there's been this curl of ash on this incense for so long. And now a little has fallen, but it was really just, it was tightened up and coiled, and it wasn't releasing it. There's something that you are holding on to, that you want to release. Who is this? 2 of Cups with the Page of Swords. You want to lean in with another person. I'll say person, it could be entity, it could be spirit. A person doesn't need to be a human, in my eyes. But you're still observing. You still have this anxiety, not knowing how it would come together. But you see what could be the beginning of everything you could potentially build up through pride. And pride not in a negative sense, taking pride in your work and everything that it is that you have been building towards. Yes, Ace of Pentacles, Queen of Swords. That's beautiful. You have made up your mind that you're going to speak something in it. But as the Queen of Swords is just tipping onto this 7 of Pentacles, I know, it's okay. We're not going to act right away. Nah, we're not going to do that immediately, Ema. We're going to start small. Wow, it goes from page to Knight of Swords. Very interesting. You're going to start one step at a time. We now have double Page of Swords. So this magical creation, whatever it is, this fiery wands energy that's coming through, it will arrive. It will arrive if you don't mess with your harvest. However, what you can start building is how you're going to reweave your mind, change your outlook, and have this change influence something that you are doing in daily life, in 3D, with the Queen of Swords coming in with the Ace of Pentacles. And I also know in my readings recently, I keep saying the wrong suit for the cards that I'm doing. Like, I'll look at this and I'll call it Wands. I'll look at this and I'll call it Cups. There's been a mishmash. Which conversation are you having? Where? Why here? Okay. I think I may record another one with this same energy. All the same, thank you for being here. If this message resonates with you, you can like this video, comment down below, and subscribe to hear from me more often. In the description, you will find a link to my Substack, which hosts the 444 Collective, where the signal is active, very much like this candle has been. There's also a link to my Buy Me a Coffee, where I have a few personal readings and experimental integration sessions linked. Okay, stay tuned.